Admiral Nicola Glass. Wait, I'm not sure I wrote that down right. Let me check. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, wherever you may be. My name is Ndub, and welcome back to Elite Dangerous. First off, a quick shout out to the 4 new subscribers who have joined the eternal crusade against the abominable intelligences of the YouTube algorithm. You have all deigned to remain anonymous, but you are appreciated nonetheless. Starting off this week's Galactic News Roundup, both portions of the Colonia Bridge project have been completed, with both the Colonia side and the Alcor side having received enough materials to make it profitable to deliver all 3 double-engineered frameshift drives. If someone were enterprising, I believe that should be a total of 6 frameshift drives if you participated in both the Colonia and Alcor side of the community goal. Unfortunately, my personal position on the Alcor side slid out of the participation threshold during the last few hours of the community goal. And this is why you should never rest on your laurels. Also, laurels are uncomfortable to sit on and crinkle easily, but that's beside the point. And moving on to interesting alliance news for today. Earlier in the week, Sirius Corporation's private military forces established a mutual aid pact with the Alliance Navy for anti-Thargoid operations, and they have even been offered a seat on the Alliance's Council of Admirals. While there are some in the Alliance's political structure that remain a bit trepidatious about this, the addition of Sirius Corporation's Admiral Nicholas Glass is, at least on the surface level, purely to strengthen the capabilities of the Alliance Defense Forces. Interestingly, following this, Prime Minister Edmund Mahon invited Sirius Corporation to establish a base of operations inside Alioth, much to the umbrage of one Councillor Nakato Kane, who has been an outspoken opponent of the Prime Minister for some time now. Additionally, with the executive action of Mahon being tied to a military pact, and that is currently heavily classified, even Nakato Kane eventually admitted that there is no way for the civilian side of the Alliance government to reverse this decision at this time. In Empire and Federation news, Senator Zemina Torval has issued a bid for mining contracts with a traditionally Federation-operated mining claims near the Dulos system. The current holder of the claims have complained loudly to the Federal Commerce Authority, who, after a surprisingly rapid review of the regulatory agency, which is a little immersion-breaking, if I might add, have determined that while the bid is very aggressive, there is no exclusivity clause for the Kane Massey contract renewal process. And with the Dulles cluster, so that way they could remain the sole supplier of mined goods. And furthermore, no laws have been broken. This dovetails nicely into this week's community goal, where both Torval Mining Ltd and Kane Massey, a mining company no one outside the Dulles cluster has ever heard of until their contract was up for renewal, and Zemina Torval swooped in like a frickin' magpie that spotted shinies. And the powers that be in the Dulles cluster have taken the initiative and have requested the 2 corporations make it worth their while, and so whichever corporation you fancy has requested freshly mined materials of bromolite, samarium, and gallite. And depending on who you fancy, the materials are to be delivered to Smithport or the megaship Pride of Bitterwood, both in the Dulles system. Whichever megacorp delivers the most materials at the end of the week will be awarded the contract, and the leadership of the Dulles cluster will laugh all the way to the bank regardless. And finally, the long-awaited Inquisition into Aegis has issued its final report with the recommendation of dismantling the organization, and they have cited mismanagement, general negligence, and a lack of cohesion between the internal tribes of each division within the organization. Additionally, the report cites reduced funding having contributed and possibly exaggerated the problems within the organization. The loss of the megaship Alexandria and the unauthorized attack on the T-Tauri system also are black marks against the organization. Independent observers have noted that the report, colloquially known as the Bauman Report, after the head of the Inquiry Board, does not make any reference to salvation or suggest any alternatives to replace the agency. I sincerely hope this doesn't bite anyone in the ass. But I fully expect it will. Anyway, an interesting and related news story to this that was basically tacked on as a footnote at the end of the Galnet article about the Aegis Report is that Admiral Tanner has been found guilty on all charges, and he has received a recommendation for a dishonorable discharge from the Federal Navy. Sentencing, however, has been suspended at the request of Fleet Admiral Tayo Makori, who has ordered a detailed review of the evidence provided by Ramtal last week. Time will tell what will happen to I suppose at this point it is former Admiral Tanner. And Aegis as a whole, I suppose. And jumping back to the Empire once again, there has been no sign of Empress Lavigny Buffon. Take that as you may. Anyway, that is the news. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and click that little bell for notifications. And to join me in my eternal crusade against YouTube and its sorting algorithms, and hopefully I will see you all in the next video.